early warning signs your factory is heading towards a cash crunch. A CEO I worked with last year, running an 80 crore precision components business, called me one afternoon, genuinely confused. He said, Shrikant, we have had the best 6 months of orders in our company's history, but I don't know where the money is. His bank account was tighter than it had been 2 years ago, when sales were half of what they were today. More orders, less cash. That's not a revenue problem. That's an operational problem that most manufacturing CEOs don't see coming until it's already arrived. Hello, I'm Shrikant Prabhudesai. I work with CEOs of manufacturing businesses to improve delivery, performance, reduce costs, and bring discipline into how their operations run, so that when the business grows, it doesn't quietly start eating itself from the inside. Today, I want to talk about something I've observed across multiple factories. 3 early warning signs that your business is moving towards a cash crunch. Not a market downturn, not bad customers, signs that are already present right inside your own operations. Sign number 1, your inventory is growing, but your output isn't. I visited a factory about 18 months ago, mid-sized sheet metal fabrication. The owner was proud of his stores. He had raw material stocked for almost 90 days. He called it security. When I walked the shop floor, I noticed something. 3 out of 8 machines were idle before lunch. Not because of a breakdown, because the specific materials needed for those jobs, a particular grade of steel, wasn't available. Everything else was there in abundance. What had happened was this. The purchase team was buying based on habit and vendor relationships, not based on what the production schedule actually needed. So, capital was sitting on the wrong materials while the right materials were in the back order. The owner thought he had an inventory problem. He actually had a planning problem. When your inventory value keeps rising quarter on quarter, but your dispatch numbers aren't keeping pace, that's the first sign. Cash is converting into material, but material is not converting back into cash. And that gap is silently suffocating your working capital. Sign number 2, your on-time delivery is slipping and you have started accepting it. This one is subtle because it doesn't feel like a financial problem. It feels like an operations headache. The business owner I was working with in an automotive ancillary, about 120 crores turnover, told me his delivery performance was around 70%. He said it with a slight shrug, like it was just the nature of the industry. I asked him what it cost him to service the 30% that was late. He hadn't calculated it. When we sat down and looked, the picture was uncomfortable. Late deliveries meant expedited freight, sometimes 3 to 4 times the normal cost. It meant his production team was constantly reprioritizing, which meant setup times were increasing, which meant even more delays on other orders. And critically, 3 of his larger customers had quietly shifted a portion of their business to a competitor. Not with a complaint, just quietly. The revenue impact of these 3 customers shifting even 20% of their wallet share elsewhere was more than 8 crores annually. When delivery performance drops, most CEOs look at the operations team, but the financial consequences, the hidden cost of firefighting, the lost wallet share, the freight premiums, that's a cash drain that doesn't show up clearly on any single line of your P&L. If your on-time delivery has been under 80% for more than 2 quarters and you have stopped treating it as urgent, that's the second warning sign. Sign number 3, your production planning is reactive, not forward-looking. This is probably the most common pattern I see. The factory is running, machines are busy, people are working hard, but if you ask the production manager, what does the next 3 weeks look like? The honest answer is often, well, we'll figure out as orders come in. There was a company I spent time with making industrial equipment. about 200 crores range, where the MD told me they had a planning system, and they did on paper. But on the ground, what was actually happening was that the loudest customer got the next production slot. Whoever called the sales team and escalated, their job went to the front of the queue.